Okay, everyone, this is Nicole. I'm back. Thank you for returning to my channel. If you have not subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. I'm trying to make it to 1,000 subscribers. If I can get to more than 1,000, that'd be great. But please subscribe. Please share the videos and on Facebook and your other social media platforms, Black Spot and Black Junction TV. I have this article here from NPR. It's entitled "Gun Rights Advocates Gather Across the U.S." So we already know this. If you didn't know this, I don't know where you've been. We just had Charlottesville last year, so that was pretty much a gun rights march, white supremacist march, where they killed, we know, one person, Heather Heyer, and possibly were involved in the murders of 2 police officers in a helicopter. It starts off saying gun rights demonstrators rallied at state capitals across the U.S. Saturday, that was yesterday, April 14th, to show support for gun ownership. A group called the National Constitutional Coalition of Patriotic Americans created Facebook events for pro-gun gatherings in all 50 states, and its co-founder David Clayton told the Associated Press that organizers secured permits for rallies in 45 states. It has been 3 weeks since Parkland, Florida high school students and their allies organized a day of public rallies and marches to push for more gun regulation. A statement on the National Constitutional Coalition of Patriotic Americans website, and they have it linked here in blue if you want to go to it. They announced the events frames the day of action as a show of support for the Second Amendment and the Constitution. It alludes to political debates about gun violence and mass shootings. They say here, quote, "Modern thinkers feel the need to strip away our natural-born right to self-protection by limiting the available weapons that are at our disposal. They blame mental illness without documentation. They blame everything except the sole responsible party, the person involved in the action." Well, they need to be blaming themselves because they're the ones out here shooting. We just had a shooting. I just, uploaded a video talking about Adrian, what was it? Dragon, whatever his name is. Nicholas Cruz. We can go down the list. Elliot Rogers. Need I say more? Dylan Roof. I don't see any mass shooters that are black in that list. And if people can find them, please find them and post them so we'll know. A lot of this comes from paranoia. These white men are paranoid. We just had an issue yesterday or the other day. A young man, 14-year-old young man, black boy, young man who was shot at because he needed directions to get to school. He forgot how to get to school. He got lost some kind of way, missed the bus, got lost, and was shot at by a suspected white supremacist in that neighborhood. So yeah, this is happening because they are paranoid. They see your melanin as a crime. I mentioned that before when I had the Flinttown clip playing in one of the videos, and I said at the end, your melanin is the crime. Our melanin is what you were born the wrong color. And since you were born the wrong color, your punishment fits your crime. Death is what your punishment should be because you weren't born white. That's how they feel about it. And if you continue to stay in denial, I don't know what to say to you except get away from me. If you're in denial, don't subscribe to my channel. If you're in denial, you're already subscribed to my channel, unsubscribe your ass from my channel. Because I don't have time for people who are in denial. Tariq said yesterday, denial is death. And that's how I agree with him. I feel like that, I just hadn't been able to articulate it the way he did. But I agree. You're in denial. And therefore, you shouldn't be around me. The article goes on to say another group publicizing the events on social media was Oath Keepers. We already know they get down. According to the organization's website, Oath Keepers is a, quote, nonpartisan association of current and formerly serving military, police, and first responders who pledge to fulfill the oath all military and police take to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. You have to think about what the mindset was of white people, white leaders in this country who actually wrote that at the time. It was, Thomas Jefferson, signers of the Declaration of Independence. Adams, a bunch of other white men with wigs on who signed that during the Constitution when it was being written. At the time, they said white is what should lead the world. White is right, anyone else is wrong. They said the term white supremacy, supreme white race at that time. So they knew what they were talking about. This is not a new story. It's just rehashed, reheated, and remicrowaved over and over. The SPLC, which tracks the activity of far-right groups in the U.S., calls Oath Keepers one of the largest radical anti-government groups in the U.S. today. They're a group that is being seen, that's out there. Clayton told the Chicago Tribune that though carrying unloaded guns when legal was encouraged, the marches were meant to be nonviolent. Yeah, right. You got a group of people who are carrying guns, and you telling me they're supposed to be nonviolent. It's meant to be nonviolent, but they carrying guns around. You can't tell me they don't have bullets in their pockets. Someone had a quote, "This is a very peaceful approach to a show of force," Clayton said. What that means is we're not going to go there looking for a fight. We're saying, look at all the people gathered here. We have a voice too. Oh, Lord. It says now Associated Press reporters counted about 100 people at the event in Cheyenne, Wyoming, more than 400 at the event in Dover, Delaware, and more than 135 people at the event in Atlanta, Georgia. Organizers of the event in Augusta, Maine, told the AP about 800 people showed up there. So, yeah. He has an AR-10 tactical rifle with the words "Black Guns Matter," which is quite ironic, seeing as though we have had revelations about a young man, black man, you know who I'm talking about, who promotes Black Guns Matter. That Tariq pretty much, and other people, not just Tariq. I don't want to feel like I don't want it to seem like I'm just going on and parroting what Tariq says, but he does have a lot of good critical analysis. But you already know who I'm talking about when it comes to Black Guns Matter. Excuse me. It's ironic how you have this white supremacist promoting that. And another thing I noticed is they're not afraid to put their names out there. Finally, it says Corey Stewart, a Republican who is now making his second run for Senate in Virginia, the land of Richard Spencer, spoke at the event in Richmond, Virginia. He told NPR that though he hasn't heard an official count, he estimates that about 200 people were in attendance. He says he believes such an event is important in the current political moment because the left is trying very hard to limit the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding Americans. He says he emphasized arms as a tool for public safety in his speech Saturday. The only way that we're going to prevent school shootings is by arming retired police, veterans, and even teachers. The only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. This guy is not... And see, the thing about it is they're saying what it is they want to say. And what they want to say, what they really want to say, is just like that sheriff out there who was saying it's more financially responsible to kill a suspect than to wound them. They want to say stuff like that. They want to get it more off code. They want to make getting off code the standard, the norm. They want to make it a viable and reputable way of speaking. This is what they're doing. They're tired of speaking in codes. They're tired of talking about symbols. They're tired of using antiquated verbiage to say what it is they really want to say. They just want to be out in the open and public with it. White women are already, white supremacist females are already out there saying what needs to be said. For a long time they were told, okay, you shouldn't be that open and free with it. Now they're saying, fuck it. We're just going to go ahead and just put it out there. This is how we feel about it. This is what we're going to do about it. I wish that we had more solutions to the problem. We as black people have more solutions to these issues. And that's why it's important for us to support one another who are not cooning and bed wenching and buck dancing and samboing and shucking and jiving and as LVZ says, shucking and jiving and tap dancing and shit. those of us who are like-minded, who got some goddamn sense, have to support each other and support ideas that put us in a better position economically, a better position physically, spiritually, and so forth. So I'll leave you all with that. I don't want to get heated. I don't want to get worked up. But I will talk to you all later. You all have a great day.